Okay, I'm gonna clean out my dryer vent. I was just at Home Depot. They charge $20 for a kit with a brush on it, 10 feet, I think, of attachment that you put on a drill, and I guess you put it down the dryer vent, but it's only good for 10 feet. I've got a 12-foot reach to the other end of this. I'll show you in a minute, but I'm going to use a tape measure to clean my dryer vent, and I'll show you how. So basically, just under here is the flap that opens up. And by the way, there is a cover on here, a grid, to prevent wildlife, birds and whatnot from getting up in there. But when the dryer's on, this opens up and it vents out. There's dust in there, and that's where I'm going to we'll give this a try here. So what I'm going to do is actually put the tape measure in upside down, kind of this way, and it'll have a tendency to want to bend. But it goes straight for about 8 feet, and then it drops at a 45-degree angle. So I'm hoping it'll just drop in there. And I'll show you on the other end when I get it in there what I have in mind. So far so good. Let's see, how much do I have? About 8 feet in there right now. Oh, okay, I just felt a little bit of tension. So I'm gonna drive it in there. 12 feet, I think it's at the other end. I'm just gonna lock, well, put this on the ground, then I'll lock it in place. Okay, so that's what I've got going on here. The tape measure's in there. Well, there's 15 feet right there. So there's about, whatever that would be, 13, almost 14 feet in there. And the tape measure's just sitting on the ground. So let's go inside. I'll show you how. Okay, so you can see the tape measure went in there, and that's the other side of the wall right there. It goes outside. And so this tape measure comes all the way out here near the dryer. And then I've got a 5-foot section where I just have one of those flex pipes. I just bought a new one from Home Depot that had some dust in it. It's just not worth cleaning it. It's been on there several years, and I could have cleaned it, but it's just not worth it. So this is a solid pipe. I'm going to... okay, so hopefully this will work as far as the video goes. So what I have is some rope, some small rope. It's, I guess, like parachute cord I got from Home Depot a while back. It's been in my shed. So I'm just going to measure out enough, so about 12 feet plus maybe 13 or 14 feet. So let me do that and I'll be back. Okay, so I measured out approximately 20 feet of this stuff. And what I'm going to do is tie this. I can't see the way I've got this rigged up. I'm going to tie this cord to the end here. And pull it back through. But before I pull it through, that should, so I just made a simple knot, no big deal. Before I really get a lot of tension on this rope, the rope will be all the way through at the other end. So that should be okay to pull it through. I hope it doesn't come loose. But anyway, if it does, no big deal. Then at the very end of the rope, the 15 or 20 feet that I have here, I think it's 20 feet, I'm simply just gonna start tying some rags on there, bunched up, and force them through by pulling them through the vent. So I think if my rags are big enough, it should put enough pressure in the interior walls that it will pull out that dust. And actually, that is, I'm going to put 2 rags on it. So I'll rig this up. And okay, so I've got it rigged up, and what I've done is just tied 4 rags together. I've taken simple from a bag of rags, just folded them 4, put them together, and then tied them in the rope. And when I pull on this rope, this whole clump of rags will just go through the vent. And it seems like 4 is nice and tight, not too tight that it won't go through, but tight enough. I think it'll take all the dust out. I was gonna, my original idea was I'd do rags like in 2 or 3 places along the end of this rope, so it'd be a continuous pass one after the other. But I think I'm gonna have to start it by stuffing it in, and instead of going back and forth and stuffing each time I pull a little bit, I'm just gonna try one pass and see if that works. So I'm back out here. I'm going to try to rig this up again, and hopefully that will stay. I'm simply gonna pull this back through, and hopefully the rope will come with it. And I'm just gonna pull it through enough to get the rope out. Oh yeah, it worked. Actually, I pulled a little bit until I feel those rags starting in there. I think right there. Ooh, yep, that was it. Went down to the ground. So I'm gonna go back in there, stuff those rags, get them started, stuff them in there, and then I'll pull it through. I'm gonna see if I can rig up this phone so that you can see what I'm doing. It's a little precarious, but I think you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is kind of stuff this rope in here first so it doesn't get jammed in a weird way. And then the rags that are tied, 4 of them again, tied up here, I'm just going to stuff them in there to start. And I wonder if 4 is too many. I don't think it is. I just need to get it started. This end is a little bit tighter than the pipe itself. Most of the pipe, just have to get it through this end. Okay. Now, I just thought of something. I don't know if there's any screws holding this together. If there is, and it's sticking on the inside, it's going to get jammed. I don't think I put screws in here, but I don't know. Anyway, we are going to find out. If there are screws protruding to the interior of this pipe, it's just going to get stuck. So I hope that doesn't happen, because I don't want to have to take this apart, because there'll be no way to get it out. Anyway, okay, let's give it a try. We're back out here again. Let's see if I can get this rigged up so you can see what's going on here. All right, so I'm going to pull this rope, and oh yeah, it seems to be coming. It's tight, but it's very tight, just the way I wanted it to be. Now it's probably stuck right on that 45 or a nail. Yeah, it's jammed in there. Oh well. So I think these rags are jammed in right here at this corner, this 45-degree angle. So I'm going to take the tape off here. Hopefully I'll see them right there. I can stuff them in a little bit more. So yeah, I was right. It got hung up there. The rags are right here, and they wouldn't go past this point again, because it gets narrower, and that was inside that pipe. So I think in retrospect, maybe I would use 3 rags, 4 is too much, but I'm going to pull it through and keep going, and you can see these rags pushed all that dust from this pipe right here. So this wasn't totally clogged up. There was dust obviously in the pipe, but not that much in one place. So it is working. I'm going to pull this out, and okay, it's always an adventure. So I'm just going to take out the rest of this big clump of dust that's right here from this pipe, and wow, it's really jammed in there. Okay, so there it is. So it does have quite a bit of dust in there, and there's the rest of the rope still in there. So anyway, it is working, and it's working the way I hoped it would. And I think the rest of the pipe is just one solid pipe. So the next time I do this, I guess I'll have to take it apart at that 45. But to me, this is a better way than buying a tool that wouldn't fit all the way through, that probably won't use again for a long time, and it'll get buried with my other tools somewhere, and I won't find it when I want it. But this is cheaper than spending $10 on a tool that I may never use again. Okay, I had to take off that entire 45 because this pipe went down in diameter again. So that was the only problem with doing this. In retrospect, maybe I would have tried 3 rags. I think they would have gone through, but there wouldn't be as much pressure on the interior of the wall to push all that dust out. So next time I may just try 3 rags, or if I do 3, I'd do 3 in one spot on the rope, maybe 3 in another spot, and another 3 at the very end, so that they would push through or get pulled through it and scrape different parts of the interior of the pipe. So I'm going to go outside and pull the rest of this through, and we'll see the dust that comes out. We're going to try the rest of this here. See if I can rig this up. Okay, here it goes. It should pull right out. Oh yeah. Nice and tight. There's gonna be a lot of dust that comes out. Oh yeah. I think it needs a little bit of help. So you can see there's some, and it's really tight because it's pulling all this dust out. And I just realized there's another tight spot right where this is mounted, but it seems to be past it. So let's see. There it comes. Oh yeah. So I think I have a good clean vent now, and there's the dust that came out of that one section, and that's probably 2/3 of the length of the pipe. So anyway, that worked pretty well. Happy with it. I think I could do an easier job next time, just with some more planning, but it worked.